Alright. Genji versus Lee or something. I don't know. Hamwa Live. Last game, Twitch was picked. And in this video, in Wackaflcka fashion, we will be watching the game and judging PEYZ's mechanics on Twitch. And I want everyone to understand, and I've said this before, especially when judging Reptile, is that even if you're a great ADC, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a Twitch, right? Like sometimes when if I watch a Twitch player play, like a certain player, or anyone that hasn't played them a lot, it's kind of like watching a normal ADC with a Twitch costume, right? And that's basically what I want to see here. If PEYZ passes the cosplay check or not. Quickly, his runes here. He's playing Triumph with cookies. So normally, this is last patch before the Presence of Mind changes. You would play Presence of Mind and then go something else. But he's going cookies probably to change the way around here because cookies can also sustain your mana. So that's fine. I like this. Just another thing I want to mention here. I'm not sure how loud I am over the talking, but the draft. Like, I've watched some LEC or something before where they picked Twitch, but then the enemy picked, like, Braum, some other champion into Nautilus Twitch, and it's like, there's no point watching this because Braum will just completely annihilate or, like, neutralize Nautilus, and then Twitch just, like, has zero impact. It's just not one game. Here, however, this team compare is very fine for Twitch, and I would feel very confident playing versus these champions here if I was playing Twitch. I would not necessarily feel any problems. Of course, early game might be an issue with Leona into Renata Varus with Twitch, but overall, it should be completely fine. But if you put me in Daniel and Genji here, we would beat these people, okay, on Lulu Twitch. No problem. And to my understanding, there were some lane swaps here. I'm not exactly sure about that.
I think it is just to try and spot out a potential lane swap again, maybe, but I don't think you want to hyper aggress here. I think it's actually Genji were going for the lane swap because again.
Yeah. Second thing to mention, I like to see him dance around with his Q. I like that. One thing to know with the Q start is that it's a bit safer than E start. It's a mix, but it's like a hybrid start. It's offensive and defensive, but it's not as, like, it's not hyper offensive. E would be considered more hyper offensive. Q would be considered less.
Even going to stick around and try and steal away a camp from the enemy side. They're disagreeing. Fine, lane swap. Should have even jungle start, both of them just on their own.
Yeah, I've got my epic pen here, so I can do some drawings if that is needed. Especially for Genji on Twitch ults. Yeah.
Normal supports mid here to get their level 2 top laners with their AD carries.
I do think though that the introduction of Smolder into the mix here has kind of put a bit of a timer towards Genji. Like, yes, Twitch has great scaling, but I do think this Smolder just pops off so well in the later portion of the game, especially with the lockup in the front line that Hanwha have that Genji are missing. You need something to go your way early to maybe.
Wait, he missed 2 CS. He would have 12 CS now, but he's got 10.
So slow, so methodically in the last game. I think they actually need a bit more burst opening in this game.
Also, I really want to say in these, like, lane swaps, I really love the ego that's, like, shown here on the top laners. Like, playing these games, they're giving up so much resources early game. It takes so much, like, on a personal level to not get upset or, like, to feel triggered by that. So, like, to see this happen, even though you might say it's boring, but if you were to be the top laner there putting yourself in this position, it wouldn't feel very good. So the fact that they're willing to do this and actually giving all the CS is actually incredibly cool to see.
Going all in. Okay. Twitch with range late game just feels so... Oh, wait a second. Yeah, Lehen's walking down here underneath the tier 1 turret, but the teleport will arrive. Keen level 2 here on the Aurora, but man, Keen is in some trouble. He flashes away, tries to use the weirding to keep himself alive. Delight survives the damage of the turret, and that's already a 1-0 for HLE here in the early game. They're about to make it 2. Peanut at least
All right.
to the turret, so there's 1 traded back, but the play goes positive for HLE.
Another thing to mention here is like on Twitch, gold lead isn't as important as it would be on other champions because you get your ult, which is a lot of AD as well. So being ahead or even in XP, early game especially, is just as important as it is to like be able to get some CS at least. But that is why Twitch can get away with getting almost no CS early game because he still has his ult, which provides a lot of stats.
I mean, we're watching the replay now. It's really nicely done on the first dive to juggle the tower aggro. It's only here in the second one that they give up number 2. Lehens is able to lock up.
I really did wish I could have like a pro view though and only watch PEYZ play. But of course we are watching Worlds, so we are forced to watch whatever happens on the screen.
Red side first and then went for the dive immediately. Canyon got to cross over, and Canyon's going to have a very nice lead on jungle here, and especially with a Nocturne, that can cause, again, your whole team to have to pay that price. So while you do get the dive off, and the first kill was without response, the second kill, plus it actually gave over some jungle advantages there. Genji, like, it's not all bad.
Yeah, I think Canyon is the big benefactor for Genji, but for
So now this one back again. Boots, longsword.
The only upside, I think, for Genji in the spot side matches is you're playing against the Renata. She's not exactly a heavy engaged champ that can look to just hard in on towards a fight, as maybe Lehen's actually looking for one. But I think you're in an okay position to just continue to farm as PEYZ with that lack of engage support.
Nice little bit of a combo damage there between Delight and Viper's piercing arrow. That serrated dirt can lead to such an annoying pattern in the lane.
Let me pause this for 1 second because there are some other things we can bring up here that is actually very interesting when it comes to playing Twitch. So I'll just put that on my second monitor. Right.
Just doing a little bit of proxy farming. Keen needs to stay underneath the turret, farm up this big wave.
Because this world is played on 14.18. And something we can do is check the completion times of items. So I'll just show you guys here really quick. Just to give you like general idea, right? Like Blade the Ring King on average in Diamond Plus is complete around 12 minutes. Boots is also complete around 12 minutes. So like using this as like a reference point to when he completes his items will give us like a good idea how he's doing in the game. If he completes it earlier than this, then he's in a very good state. And if not, then he's in the worst. Like roughly around 12 minutes, we should be seeing completions.
The speed of the farming there already has the first tier purchased as well after both mid laners have used that first TP, so wants to make sure that he's getting that stacked up as quickly as possible, spamming out all those abilities, making sure that you're constantly moving as quickly as possible towards those larger breakpoints.
With the experience lead for Canyon, we're looking already at the Void Grubs. He can go Krugs over here towards it. And since bottom lane, they've actually kept both Delight and Viper down there for HLE. It really does seem...
I also really wonder how these swaps would work in ranked, like in solo queue.
Halfway up the river, so Lehens is kind of deciding right now.
I think it's single Void Grub against Canyon 6 as well.
It would of course be difficult to make your teammates do it, but I just wonder how optimal it really is. Like I know you give the safer lane, but like how can you get punished if you don't do it?
He could go to either, and Canyon jumping on these Void Grubs, he does have his smite ready, so could get his level 6 immediately.
Yup, and there it is. Canyon, level 6, first grub already down, Peanut retreating.
I just love what they did there. You know, Lehens hovering in the river, in the fog of war, as the wave is slowly pushing into them. They're not really concerned about it. Canyon finishes up the Krugs, goes right over to those grubs. They finish it off, and that's how you really, even though the dive bottom did cost some extra gold, you leverage experience in this game, and his experience early on to just be more impactful than gold a lot of the time.
I mean, when you think about it, a champion
Yeah.
leveling up gets what, 300 to 400 gold in stats? Just having the extra level, boom, you're making up for that difference in gold as long as that champion's involved in the scrap.
I feel like especially for junglers too, and junglers like Nocturne that can then affect the rest of the map. So we'll see what he does with his first ultimate. Mr. Canyon clearing down his bottom side, so
I think he wants to go bot lane here.
We can all see the XP buyer. So like you can see Varus about to hit level 6. I just stopped at a very wrong time here. Let's see.
Range, but it's long enough. enough. Zenith Blade to lead the engage. Lehens starting it off as Viper still tries to escape. The cleanse ain't gonna do it. The bailout ain't gonna do it. The piercing arrow is not enough. Peanut shows up, but it's too little. It's too late. It's too good for Genji, who tie up the game 2-2.
Dude, when your jungler is ahead, oh, it feels good. Canyon's there first. Canyon's able to close the distance with his ultimate. And even though Peanut arrives late, that's just level 5 Sejuani. Great. Not really concerned. And so they get the early jump onto Viper, even with the flash, even with the cleanse. Successful move for Genji. And Canyon able to really leverage and snowball the early stages. But here's another look at the start.
A great engage from the Hens. The flash Zenith Blade catches out Viper and sets him up. Gets the stun as well. And Viper could have tried to use the cleanse there, but instead believed in the handshake coming through. And then I think you just couldn't quite get away after that second stun came through from the Hens. And as you say, I mean, level 5 Sejuani is going to do nothing in this situation.
Dude, how sick of a move is Zenith Blade? Still get to go with him with his flash. So he got to go his flash distance, plus the Zenith Blade distance, plus Viper's flash distance.
It's like that part of the Toy Story, you know, where they're all running off the back of the van and they're just holding onto it, just following along wherever.
I'm coming too. All right, well, Canyon continues to leverage his jungle advantage into a dragon as well for Genji. It's been the story all 3 games of objectives for Genji and dragons especially for them.
All right, Genji pushing towards top here, just continuing.
Now the top lane again.
Plate money as they can. Meanwhile, Canyon, he's got the first Drake, he's got the first 3 grubs, he's got the experience lead, he's got everything Nocturne could ask for here in the early game. Having a great showing in this third one of the series. The gold is back to even as Viper and Delight try to maintain control and push. Here in this bottom lane, Zeka still doing a good job, making sure that you DPS the minions equally, farm them all up with the Q, get max stacks, and he's already up to 82 of those.
Chovy now moving down to cover bot lane though. They still want to try and get this rotation for the grubs in a minute's time. You already obviously have PEYZ up here, but Lehens is moving down. They are fully convinced Halmar are going to go for some sort of dive with Peanut hitting level 6, but everyone from Genji hiding on the map, waiting for Peanut to show himself.
Yeah, PEYZ hiding all right, deep in that alcove. He's getting ready for some sneaky plays. We'll see. Once you get the Blade of the Ruin King for the Twitch, then you really become a menace, making everybody worry about your positioning. Every moment that you stay hidden, like this comp from Genji just puts so much like mental pressure on you.
I also don't like the I do not like. I don't mind the Blade of the Ruin King rush. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, once you get Blade of the Ruin King, you're good, dude. Just get in there. Just Blade of the Ruin King.
I know there was some incidents where Twitch was playing against Nocturne and he would go for some like wonky like on-hit build early game, but you won't have much impact then. Like going Hurricane in these things versus Nocturne early game, like in the 2-3 stage items, you're not gonna have that much impact. You want to prioritize hitting hard in short windows then. So then going for these kind of builds is going to be a bit more awkward, but now of course he has the Nocturne on his side, so it's not that bad.
Only needs to take a single grub to get the Void Might spawns, but of course if you can get
Even like considering AP Twitch, I know it's not that strong, but in some situations, like especially against like Nocturne and then like immobile champions, tanks, Braum, etc., like considering AP is definitely something you should be doing if you are like planning on playing Twitch.
Fantastic. Peanut is the first one up here in that Herald, Baron, Grub, whatever you want to call it, pit. However, Genji will be sending more troops real soon with PEYZ farming up underneath the tier 1 as you do have lane control up there for the combo of Delight and Viper. Down in bottom lane, Chovy versus Doran really shouldn't turn into a whole lot, I wouldn't think. Both of these two have unleashed teleports ready to go to join any fight that might break out here in the top side. It's a 4-man move from HLE. They're going to be the first to commit here to this river. Canyon can steal away even a single grub. That's all they need. He flies into the middle of everybody. The solar flare coming down over the top, but Canyon is already dead. A nice
Alright, so here, first fight to break down.
Fight that might break out here in the top side. It's a 4-man move from HLE. They're going to be the first to commit here to this.
So we'll pay attention to when he uses his ultimate as well.
Canyon can steal away even a single grub. That's all they need. He flies into the middle of everybody. The solar flare coming down over the top, but Canyon is...
So the first thing you mentioned, like I saw someone else mention, is that PEYZ doesn't really do the auto attack W. So you can see he does like the W here into a W, which is fine, because it can get a bit clunky sometimes. But he There's no attempt there, and I think it will be fine as well to use it. Like, you'll get a better position, and your spacing will be slightly better if you do it this way here. But most of the time, if you like have played Twitch a lot, you are going to do auto take W instead. Okay, so we can see again, right? Sorry, we're hyper analyzing here. Right, so he throws W. This is important because if he ulted before this there, he would waste a lot of time. But luckily, at least when he's doing this kind of like a bit slower combo, he's at least saving his ultimate until this point here. Right? And the second thing, since we're hyper analyzing here, Sejuani used to knock already. And then you can see this is actually a bad move. Right? It might seem weird, but just this little frame here tells me that he doesn't really see everything. Because right now, if he ults, like he's gonna ult down here, right? But if when he moves this way, his ult is going to go this way. But he would much rather want his ult to go this way and pierce through more, right? So like if you pay attention to these lines, so now he moves up here, right? But then Sekka thankfully moves this way down again, which then allows his line to like continue with his ult. And then he walks in, and then spaces, and then like this happens. But like obviously I have to pay attention to Sejuani. Sejuani didn't have the E or like knock yet. I'm not exactly sure what ability it is right now at this moment. But like this small little window there just tells me that he's not like 100% like with Twitch. Because that's something, I mean, it doesn't seem that bad, right? But like, a good Twitch player will instinctively like correct himself depending on like where enemies are. Of course, you have to pay attention to like, or know what can happen to you as well. So you are going to like, the respect for what can happen to you is going to prioritize like that, right? Because that will prioritize your positioning. And then under that, it's like the damage. And then you maybe have like the risk factor, like if it's worth it to commit for this and take that chance, right? But these are the things we'll be paying attention throughout the entire game. But still not bad. It works out, right? I haven't watched this game. I didn't watch it. This is my first time watching it, just to be clear. But like these small like missed movements are things that I notice easily when I'm watching someone play Twitch, and it's like the #1 thing to pay attention to, because it really tells you like their instinct.
Teleport quicker from Doran. It nearly went their way, but GENG, they outplay on the fight, and it's a double kill for the Twitch.
Twitch, PEYZ getting so rich off this play, and the reason it looks good at the beginning is because they also started before PEYZ is even there, a couple of seconds. So that means Canyon down already, and as you say, the Renata ultimate going over the.
So like here again, like the last order tag there. I mean, of course it's taking priority.
Twitch, PEYZ getting so rich off this play, and the reason it looks good at the beginning is because they also started before.
Okay, look at this, right? He has his ult. Ulti's there. Ulti's there. I complain about this slight misstep here. This is fine. But then, now you pay attention. He autos Sejuani, right? But he should like auto one of the other ones. But he still damages them. But like, you can see that the arrows like slightly misaligned because he autos the Sejuani. But since he has his ulti still there at that moment, he should target one of the ones in the backline to make sure that it hits both of them. But there he just right-clicked Sejuani instead. Cleanse there is slightly wasted, I think. But again, I'm not here to complain about things or like manage like ADC. I'm not here for that, right? PEYZ is world class, but I do believe that my knowledge personally on Twitch is higher than PEYZ.
It is again just so much objective control for GENG, plus the huge threat of all the money going into the Twitch, who just funded that Blade of the Ruined King we've been dreading.
And for Doran, I could understand where his head was at. Was like, hey, if I go hyper aggressive on towards Chovy in that bot lane, he can't TP to the fight. I'm about to go mini Gnar. I haven't got that Mega Gnar available for this next fight. And as he TP'd in, he just wasn't as big of a factor as you traditionally would expect from a Gnar in those engages. And GENG do a really good job. And as you say now, Twitch 3-0.
Oh yeah, so again, Blade of the Ruined King completion, right? We mentioned around 12 minutes. We're at 27:44 now. Let's go back to 12 minutes. The fire was probably going on at that point. No, yeah, so you can see roughly around 12 minutes he completed it, right? So that means that he's in a good spot right now. And then Infinity Edge, or Hurricane, I mean, should be finishing around 19 minutes if he's following the same pace. If he completes it earlier, he's in a very good spot. But like completing Hurricane in 19 minutes would be considered good, or like above average. As you can see here, 19 minutes is the average. And you can argue this is a rank, like this is a world's game, it's not the same, but it is. Like it's actually quite similar. Of course, people can get funneled a lot more gold, but on average, like even comparing like ranked to like world's games, the item completions will be roughly around the same time. And it can give you a good idea of like how the game is going, just based on like the item completions. And then you can look at the win rates as well, even though that's going to be like a bit more irrelevant here. But you can see that if Infinity Edge is completed around 24 minutes here on third item, it has a above positive win rate. And that just tells you like how good that item is for that champion at that moment to get. Of course, if they get it later, it is going to reflect in the win rate and like drag it down.
Because then you think like a true jungler. You think about what it's going to do for you in a little bit of the long term, not the immediate future. Like, okay, fine, you know, if a Herald is going to like get you an outer tower or something, but the Drake is going to give you the possibility of drawing the opponents out onto the map, where then you get to use.
So here I think we get to see the second place one mentioned there. And this is one that I found kind of interesting. This was mentioned on Twitch Reddit. So we see again he goes for that W, right? He autos once, then he ultis. I'm pretty sure we'll get to see that. We'll just have to do this again. We're at 28:37, so we'll go here. Right. So I'm gonna slow it down. Oh, that's speech. So we just want to see if this first ult is a piercing ult. It is. Okay. So the first auto he does, even though it doesn't go off here, is actually an ultimate. That is important to note. But okay. And then he barely lives. And someone was asking if he would do the combo properly, like ult, auto, or whatever. If he would maybe kill him. And at this point, I would probably say no. But the one thing we can mention here is that you can see that it's a red ward here. They don't have a ward here. So maybe if PEYZ would have gone this way here, he might have been able to kill Doran. But the downside to this, as you can see, Doran's running this way, right? And Twitch ult shoots in lines. And it's easier to hit the enemy when your ult follows the trajectory of like their movement, right? So like if PEYZ were to come from the angle here and he try to shoot like this, he'll be much more likely to miss his auto attacks, as opposed to like if he was to come here and then like shoot after him like this in his path, because it has it's a smaller chance for it to miss, basically. Like when someone is walking this way and you stand here and you try and ult him like this, you're more likely to miss than if you are standing here and you are shooting after them. Right. So even though there's lower possibilities there, I think just the tempo gained is good. If we were to like make one thing, maybe get a flash, but it's just a psycho thing. I don't really see a big problem with this. Of course, he could have done an auto W, but I don't think he would have died still, because even then, the first action from now was basically to just jump away anyway, so that slow really wouldn't have had an effect, unless the slow would have been applied after the jump. And that is why the Twitch AP is very good into champions that don't have dashes, because then they're forced to like play in this. So like, in this scenario here, if you was to kill him, I would have liked to see the W be used better. But it would be very hard because it's a very large range, right? But like the W would be way more effective after his jump than before. So like that's why I also say I don't think it would have mattered that much.
For all of this pick potential, Leona even. Oh, dude. Like, yeah, look, you can't go anywhere on the map. it's going to be somebody from Gen G jumping out.
Canyon has
Oh
ult.
no. Yeah, Canyon's about to
Meganar,
ult, but-
though.
It's a good
Yeah,
rush.
yeah, Meganar saves in there. You just cast the wall up, transform immediately on the spot. If that Narbar would have been just even slightly shy of it, that is an easy kill for Canyon. But very fortunately for Doran, he gets away from it, stays alive to see another day, as Gen G, again with control of the mid lane, going to push that wave up, rotate into the bot side river, rotate towards the Drake that Kobe's talking about. You want to use to bait them into these open fights. First turret dropping at the same time. You can see the information on the top of your screen. As we
Also, what is this, man?
the moment where the turret
Insecure virus, bro. Spoiled.
Pretty much making up for that difference in golden plates by grabbing the first turret 30 seconds before HLE can respond in the top.
Thank you, MasterCard, bro.
Zeka's smolder, and now the second Drake goes the way of Gen G as well, with the gold dead even, and Zeka at just past that second breakpoint here. 145, only needed 125 for that second transform, so still stacking forward, and I feel like he's going to need to hit that ASAP to make sure they're staying on pace with this scaling Twitch.
Yeah, certainly is. I mean, going with the Sojin for the super cooldown reduction, so you can just try and stack there.
But I will say,
HLE again,
it's actually very hard to get an impression of PEYZ when I don't get to watch him the entire time. Like how he plays Twitch. Obviously, to this point here, we have concluded that his instinct on Twitch is not like aligned with Twitch completely. So,
when
yeah.
they are down on the map, they're usually going to just instantly not try and waste time and go for their counterplay on the other side. And they're like, fine, we'll take our consolation prize, we'll get that top tower, we'll keep ourselves competitive in gold at least. We'll try and build ourselves up so that at least we can have the hope of our dream comeback fight.
You can of course mention on an R2 like the Blade the Ring King slow getting the free auto attacks and then using the distance. So like if he does the free autos and then spends time pathing up, right? How much I want to like hyper-analyze that last fight, I don't think it's so important. But of course doing free autos and then spending that movement speed to like get yourself close to the target again and then possibly getting the W off could like lead to a kill too. But again, I don't think it's so important. And you're also like running out of timer of your ult anyway.
Where it's a kite backwards into some counter engage, and Renata ultimate has the possibility of being huge, but it is really hard to cover all of the angles that this Gen G comp can come at you from, since they can literally come at you from 360 degrees with their mobility and with the invisibility gems. And so as the map opens up and those outer turrets go down, you really do have to cover 360 degrees with all of your wards, like warding every flank and trying to clean out all the Gen G.
Like another thing I would have loved to see here is his recall timings. How well he understands his spikes, like especially around objectives. I would assume though, because it's worlds, that would happen automatically. So it would be a lot harder to tell, as opposed to like if it was a solo queue game. But of course, like recalling Hurricane before a Dragon fight, very important.
And then you try and have that big team fight for yourselves to blow up in the game again and show they can do it.
And I think a lot of that relies on having the DPS behind Delight's wave, which is going to be from Zeka in this regard. And he needs to be in the sidelines farming. So I'm curious now if Gen G try to start hitting on towards wherever Zeka is on the map, just putting him behind. You could already see Canyon was sitting down towards that bottom side with Keen, but now with Hanwha opening up on mid with this Rift Herald, everyone in Gen G is coming across, even PEYZ.
Ooh, Glacial Prison not going to find a whole lot. You can see they threw it out. They wanted to see if they could catch PEYZ by surprise there because the mom summoned up too. But considering it just barely misses, there's not a whole lot of punish. And that's two big spells down for HLE. So don't be expecting them to do a whole lot more until those cooldowns are back.
And that Herald really well defended by Gen G as well.
Yes, we're going for recall now. I actually suspect that we're going to see a Hurricane completion here.
Pushing side, we're trying to play for these picks, trying to make things very awkward for Hanwha on the map. And with 2.5 minutes until Dragon, there's plenty of moments to get push out, maybe shift over towards that top side, or even again look for these plays on towards the overexposed Smolder, who's just down on this bottom side. Like, even look at where Peanut is on the map. All he wants to do is sit here beside this Smolder to guarantee that.
Alright, let's see. So again, I mentioned 19 minutes here. Right, 19 minutes. So if he completes Hurricane now, he's 2 minutes ahead. Yeah, so he's very far ahead on average. As opposed to the average Twitch. Because even though you can, like, just another point here, right? Because these spikes here are relative to other champions. Let's just take Sejuani as an example, right? So if you write Sejuani here, and then you look at Lockett, So Lockheed completes around 11 minutes, and then the second item, which she's probably going for like Sunfire Cape or something, it completes around 20 minutes. So like even though you say like, oh, it's worlds, like these items are like all average each other, right? So like in an average game, Hurricane will complete 90 minutes, Sunfire Cape or whatever she's going is going to complete, or Randuin's or whatever it might be, is going to complete around 2018, right? It's like it's like items versus items, like Twitch Blade Hurricane versus these champions in the enemy team, like compared to like the average of items they have this win rate. So like if they have less items, it tells you that like the performance and like the strength of the items is going to be a lot stronger here, just because of how fast, like how soon he completes them. So like even though, so like the argument of saying that these timers like isn't applicable to Worlds games is not true, because it's talking about like the item strength versus item strengths in like sets, like how strong is these items versus these items. And currently the enemy team doesn't even have those items that these win rates are based off, which means that it's like really strong. Because of course you can say these items are good, but it has to be relative, right? So like it's relative to the enemy's team. So like currently these items are very strong relative to what items the enemy team has. And that is the only thing that matters here, outside of like player skill. And champions, of course. But Twitch, of course, in this scenario here, again, really good. Alright. Now we're getting the season place gameplay here. I want to go back again, because I'm getting slightly lost there. I want to see how I place this. What vision do they have? I wish, like, yeah, there's so many things I wish for here. I wish I could see the enemy team vision. I can see that they have a ward here. So, yeah, okay. Just to quickly explain this, Twitch using his stealth is a very important timer. You cannot use it too late, you cannot use it too early. Oftentimes you don't want to use it because you want to draw the enemies towards you, and then use it afterwards when they come towards you, and then just use it to like buy time. So like if you use it too early, you are not going to draw the enemies towards you. And if you do it too late, then you might die. But okay. So he gets some auto attack here. And then he sees the enemies are coming, so they're coming towards him. He obviously has engaged champions around him. So at this point here, we are basically saying I'm expecting something to happen soon. I would say that. Okay, so okay. What would I have liked here? Where's Renata? She's there. Alright, let's do this one more time. I mean, Dragon is spawning soon. Yeah, it's fine. We're not gonna go too much into this. I think it's fine. His stove is still up. Basically, if something happened, he would have opened. But now at 1 minute remaining on Dragon, and him not like if he ulted now, he wouldn't have had ult for Dragon. So like again, you can say that him saying if he was the reason nothing happened here, would show some kind of like understanding of Twitch. Because at this point here, if you were to ult and not getting kills, that would be a huge mistake from Twitch. Unless they were to like kill a lot of people. But if I ended in nothing and he used his ult at that point and didn't get anything, but like a tier 2 tower, it would be bad. You would want something more like a dragon or something.
This is an infernal soul. Genji have high rolled to all hell with the souls they managed to get this day. But it does mean that you have to fight them and you have to come at them. And for Genji, I think you're pretty happy with that, because look at this motor. The second item not even completed. We should have it on reset, but it's also a build that comes on much later because you haven't gone for that Triforce to try and hit that breakpoint in the mid game.
And PEYZ also already has the Hurricane here, so the Twitch just gets to melt multiple targets from a very safe distance with the ultimate. And kind of
Yes, both summoners. Like again, this fight here is very nice for Twitch. He has cleanse, he has everything he needs. He has frontline, he has backline. To some degree. So like this here is like perfect conditions. They have the perfect vision set up here. So honestly, if I was the enemy team here, you would need a very good engaged like big Genji here if they play properly. Like I would feel very confident in this situation here if I knew that my team would play the game out properly.
In these team fights, and we'll see. Genji way ahead of time and see if they can get the advantage.
PEYZ is bot lane here.
Looking to fight back. They've got the brute
I would have liked to see him be mid here though.
force. They get their mid lane pull.
Like, he's not going to reset, so the money he gets doesn't really matter right now. Like, if he would have been like here right now, on the side, or like anywhere here position, all these would be dead. No question asked. They would be dead by now. Why they're bot lane though, especially Sejuani hovering, I'm not sure. Maybe they did see PEYZ.
Positioning into river.
But I would like to see a lot more killer instinct from PEYZ right now than what I'm currently seeing.
Squad here, though. Yeah, there we go. Get yourself a tankier member on the front line. And here we go.
PEYZ is still creeping around.
Now he doesn't have his Q. I assume he's waiting for it.
Wants to make sure he can get that chance to open up. Keen will be the last one to join the rest of Gen G here in the bot side river.
His positioning is very good.
The Gnar separated from the rest of the team. Jordan's about to transform back from Mega Gnar. This is not a good state for H.
Yeah, so like you see here, this is good. This is like a sign of like knowing Twitch. So like he leaves the fight here. Basically just again a wrangler, I would assume. He gets his stealth here, he leaves the fight. A normal ADC could just stand here, continue hitting. But since he's playing Twitch, he's going for this re-angle. And this is really good. It can be a downside though if you do too late, and it's looking like it might get too late here because already the support is going down, right? But then he gets the perfect angle here. And I don't really have I'm getting shivers, man. This is nice. I like this goosebumps. But he did it a bit too late. A lot of the time, or not a lot, but you want Twitch to be like maybe like a little bit earlier, just to like grab their attention, which is why like a flank or something is good. Like you open up 0.5 seconds before, they're like, Twitch is there, and then suddenly your entire team just jumps on them, right? So like you want to get their attention a little bit. And he was a bit too late here. Like not too late, but still like slightly like he should have done it a little bit earlier. But other than that, perfect. I really love seeing this. This is really nice. It's hard for me to make a like proper call though, because I'm not able to see his cooldowns. Maybe his Q wasn't back, you'd never know. But that was perfect. As perfect as it could be. We could of course go to his target selection, but he's hitting everyone, so it's not really a problem now. It's usually earlier it's more important to care where your trajectory is going before Hurricane. After Hurricane it becomes less important.
They certainly did. They get the dragon and they get the smolder. So both dragon's flowers, everything taken care of, including 2 turrets afterwards. It's insane how much they get off this.
Okay, let's look at this again. We'll look at his target selection. So he autos, he attacks Sejuani here, I would assume. I think that's Sejuani at least. No, Sejuani's there. Okay. Ulti's through. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say there. Maybe like one auto or something could be used better, but... I'm prone to misclicking, so it's not very often that I'll get the perfect one.
Gen G, the revenge for the finals in the LCK, but heartbreak coming through from the Hanwha coaches. Just having this moment where you can fight back when it was supposed to be yours, and Hanwha came out and snuck it away from you. Gen G have a lot to prove here against them today.
Yeah, and I like what they've shown. They've committed to
like the fact they didn't need to have to use a single summoner. It's also like really good.
You know, Canyon being a real strong point person for the double AP carries.
Which kind of shows that it wasn't too late or too early. Like, it was like just slightly too late, but still not too late, you know? Like, he didn't have to compensate by using anything else. Like, he was still like able to do everything he needed to do. Just, yeah.
Frisky with the mid lane here. Well, Viper tried to catch him with the chains of corruption since that's already down, and Chovy already had to use the ulti to escape, and he feels fine trying to scrap with the rest of the cooldown.
So, 24 minutes. What is happening here? Okay, wait. Alright, this is important. He has his ult. Waits. Killer instinct. Where's Smolder here? Okay, Smolder is all lined up. Ulti. Okay, I don't like this ult. No, this is bad. This is really bad. This is more punishing in this scenario than it is in any other scenario. So at this point here, you want to from stealth, you want to use your ult slightly earlier, rather than like after you open or something, because you get a bad distance. Like he's slightly too close here, and his spacing becomes very awkward. Yeah. Yeah, he shouldn't have died there. Yeah. And again, going for this W before the opener here, like he's in this scenario here, like he has a triggered pull. If he could pull it right now with the ult, he could open it right now, and then they would have to walk around the wall, wall as well. They don't. I'm not. If they had ward, has something would be really nice. Like right now, Aurora's not there yet, so maybe he's waiting for that. But I still think you could have had bigger distance. Like his ult range is basically like here at this point. It's like he could move this much distance away, so he could be standing like here right now. The only downside to opening too far is that the enemy might feel more inclined to leave than they are to like chase you. So like you have to keep yourself enticing, because obviously if you get to rain free on them, they're going to die. So if you open max range on someone, it's very likely that they will just be like, nah, I'm gonna just walk away. So like a lot of the time I will die and it will seem really awkward because I opened too close, but it's basically because I had to like make them want to like attack me. So if I do it from too far away, they're more likely to just walk away. So it's really awkward. But I think this is slightly too close. And the W was really bad too, because you see the W here, right? Like it gets thrown. And right now it's like around here. It's going to land here, right? And that means that these champions are already in the middle of it. So they only have to walk through half of the thing to be out of it. So in reality here, what PEYZ would want to do with this W is like even throw it here. So they have to walk through the entire W. It's like the fact that it lands here. So then Sejuani's like maybe has this low part to walk through. Of course, these people in the backline here has to walk through more of it. But you care more about the front line and how fast they will reach you. It's like prioritizing that they're slowed so that they cannot reach you is more important than the backline, right? So like PEYZ should throw the W in between him and the enemy team and not on them. That is a big mistake that I do myself sometimes as well. But it is something you don't want to do. You don't want to throw your W on top of them. You want to throw it in between. Most of the time. Especially when you have the ultimate and you have bigger range to play with. Then it's even more important. Of course, if you're playing melee and you're working with your regular like 550 range. Then it's less important. But when your range is like literally this big. Then yeah. You should have not thrown the W there. It's a bad W. You're open too close, as you can see. So yeah, it's that he's gonna die here. It's very likely.
Straight for PEYZ, knocks him in. They get two, Keen down, PEYZ down. Hanwha Life not going to go out without a fight.
This Runan's Twitch though still got the damage done. That could have potentially been Hanwha turning over towards the Baron, but blinking health bars on Viper, on Delight, on so many.
PEYZ, bro, if he wants some Twitch coaching, bro, just hit me up. Genji coach, you know. We can do some late night sessions. Like right here though, this moment when they're around the wall here, it would have been so perfect because then they still have like this terrain they are forced to move through. Of course, Sejuani could maybe like jump over and get to Twitch, but still, they have a ward here. I think there's a ping, so maybe it's disabled, but they have vision here, so like they are still like, it's still possible. Of course, it's awkward if you lose vision, but like at the point where all the enemies were here, if he opened, ooh, that would have been nasty. It's like I really wish he would have just opened. I know Aurora wasn't there. They should have maybe joined earlier. But if he got the opener there, he would have done so much more damage to them than what he does now. Even now, it's still fine, though. You can see those slow damage, but yeah.
His abilities used. He's like, there's no Sejuani ultimate. And boom, Keem comes in, but Doran says, not on my watch.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like Sejuani has ult here, so you definitely could have bought the time.
And like you're saying, a couple more autos, boom, the whole team is just destroyed right there. So again, the instant turn to immediately go for both of them. Flash used from Doran, but that was a very worthwhile flash.
The way that it looked, one auto kills two of them, and then there's not even enough for the remaining three guys to fight. It would have been a total wipe. Absolutely clutch to not let PEYZ get away with that. HLE doing everything they can to try to stay within strike.
There's so many things to add there though, like the crit cloak, like all of these things is kind of awkward. I mean, it depends if they don't plan on fighting anything and they can play a stable game and nothing happens, then of course it doesn't really matter what items you have in inventory, but if some skirmish were to happen, I think BF Sword or something would have more value, yeah. And at this point here, it becomes a bit awkward because yeah, Blade Rune King and Infinity Edge doesn't empower Blade Rune King, but LDR does empower Blade Rune King. So like, there are arguments being made here where LDR and Infinity Edge at the point where they're stacking a lot of armor has more value. But even then, I think Infinity Edge comes slightly more ahead. But still, you are fine doing both. But of course, getting Infinity Edge and then like a Last Whisper item or something is going to be stronger than BF Sword and Last Whisper to make that clear.
Just like the first two, GenG has been in charge of so far.
That quick cloak isn't really that important. It doesn't really do much at this point.
Powered by AWS, seeing the split here and the way the last ones have gone. This one, of course, as you guys keep on mentioning, that possibility of Smolder continuing to stack up. A lot invested there, but a Nocturne ult on him.
Yep, Canyon has found his target here with Zeka Smolder. Mom summoned. Maybe it would have been enough to save him just from Nocturne, but not from the backup too. Keen will be the one to take the kill as PEYZ also...
Because he's losing a lot of power in his inventory right now. So like, even at this point here, like relative to other champions, like he's not that much stronger anymore. Like, it's important to like keep your like edge by maximizing your inventory value at all times on Twitch. And this cloak, if he's going to keep that pink ward for like an objective, then again, really bad. But like Dragon is coming up soon. Like, I need to see an Infinity Edge complete. Wait, he's actually behind right now because I'm at Infinity Edge completes 24 minutes. So he was ahead on the Hurricane. Now he falls behind slightly. So he needs to. I need to see a recall right now, and it needs to be an Infinity Edge. Yeah. Yeah, alright. We're on time. So he was ahead on the Hurricane. I'm not sure on his, again, money, but he's now slightly behind on this third item. Like, in like, trajectory, right? Like, he was, like, trajectorying. Like, hey, I have Blade Rune King. Hey, you have Infinity Edge. And then you have, like, the time frames. Or, like, whatever. And then you have this. And he, like, he reached this, like, giga fast. But then he flatlined and he got this one like slightly later again. Like this is the earliest he can get. And he got it way earlier here. So then his trajectory, if he was to follow the same, it would be like here. But instead it's like here. If that makes sense. It's like it's relative, like item completions is not the same as offline now. What the reason for that is though, I'm not sure. So again, maybe he had items and he just didn't buy them until now. But it doesn't really seem like it because he didn't buy anything else, like a longsword or anything. Maybe bought a red paw, I'm not sure. That's not a very interesting thing. I wonder if you can see, I haven't watched much Worlds, but if you can see when people buy red paws and stuff, I would imagine like an important fight, so people would do it and just sacrifice items just to have the spike earlier. Alright, we're watching PEYZ there.
Okay, so the rapid fire cannon being completed for Zeka, I think is really big. Allows him to try to poke these guys a little bit before the hard commit comes out for GenG. But it's so...
Okay, they have a red trinket here. Or pink ward, I mean. Pink ward there.
PEYZ can always be anywhere, everywhere, all at once. Not a good...
Yeah, engage. It's like at this point, throwing the W is good. Like he could just throw the W now. He does it? Okay, he does it? Okay, we're smurfing that pace, alright. We're slowly learning. Did he do that intentionally? This is important to note.
It's not a good place to have to try to defend against. Canyon getting caught.
Okay, so if he was to do this, okay, but I have vision. If he was to do this intentionally though, maybe like a Q, wait, split second, and then hit it, so like they don't see you jump over. But even then, they're still buying time because they need to be able to enter. I think even at this point, they could have done for the walk around. But he needs to ask. Like, the fact that no one cares about this pink. Okay, he takes it. Okay, now he doesn't have a Q, so this fight's going to be slightly more awkward. Nah, Sejani. Backline is here. PEYZ is there. Like, if PEYZ could have come behind here right now, imagine if PEYZ was here somehow. Boom. Disrupts the entire backline. Nocturne jumps in. Aurora is just... That would be complete fist. But, of course, he had to break his stealth. I would have liked to see him break his stealth earlier, maybe. You could make an argument for that. Like, the second he's walking around here and he knows he's getting away, just break it fast. Like, it's good that he attacked the pink ward, actually. And didn't, like, extend this fight, cause, like, extend this Q, because now it means he gets back faster again. PEYZ again going for that flank, maybe? Let's see. Doesn't have his Q. Yeah, there's something going wrong here. Not necessarily from PEYZ. He hasn't had angle though. And I would have been very tempted. This is a mechanic like ADC mechanic though. This isn't Twitch relative. To hold yourself right now. Because any Twitch psychopath would have gone in here, forced an angle and gone. I think you can make an argument that Twitch could have done that though. But of course his Q timing is so screwed here. Let's take a quick look though, because we can actually like check this quickly. So Twitch at this point here, he's level 14, which means that he has his Q complete, meaning that it's around a 10-second cooldown after it breaks. So let's watch this again, and then we'll time the Q. What happens here though? I don't understand. How did they just lose control completely? Okay, Pino walks up. The fact that Nocturne, I don't think that's a good idea actually. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't know why Canyon's doing this. I feel like Canyon cannot troll this. But okay. PEYZ hitting this, kinda troll too. Because now it gets to the point where he has to use his Q. Right, because he used to, yeah, okay. So he uses it. Waits. He should have broke his Q like the second he got away here. Like if he's playing like 100% correct. Because if he would have done that, let's just take the time here now again, right? So if he got away now, he knows he's safe. Now. Maybe. Okay, at least now. 45. So at 55, it's going to be up. Right? 55. So now it should be up again. But since PEYZ breaks it now at 50 instead, basically, it's up 5 seconds later. It's like now it would be up. And now he does it, right? So he's just getting it too late. The dragon is gone. Like, if he would have just cancelled his Q earlier. Maybe. But, I mean, Lehens is dead. And Nocturne should never have been caught there. I mean, I know what they could have done, but we're just there to watch Twitch. We don't care about the rest. Because the only thing you really care about Twitch is like getting people to come towards you or something, right? Like you don't care about anything else. Like you just want people to be stacked. That's all you care about. And there's many ways of doing that.
They deny a dragon soul, and they deliver again on this series.
And this is why I think as this game starts to go on, it becomes more and more difficult for Gen G to play. You don't really have a very tanky frontline that can immediately go into a Mega Gnar, into Peanut. Delight also being able to buy space means you can play for these backline threats with the Varus poke, the Mom ultimate across the top. It makes it difficult for Gen G to find these openings for PEYZ if they're not on the objective first.
And you don't get time to just stand around there at the fight because we saw how much damage the poke is going to do. You're going to lose out, win percentages very quickly with every skill shot that's going to land on you, every little bit of poke damage. So the decisions have to be
exactly.
instantaneous.
Like they have Nocturne, they have champions that can jump in, so they don't really need to be in their face constantly. So they can push waves and just play like and have them to come towards them. Like they're engaged reliant, right? Like Sejuani.
Go for Zeka approaching 300 stacks here, gets away from the charm.
Yeah. I'm coughing so much. He stealths again. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I think in a like 100% scenario, if you're really confident there, then you wouldn't use your ult, but it's also a risky thing because you don't want to lose your HP here. So making a pick in scenarios like this, yeah, I think is still good. Because you get rid of the ADC anyway. So like the only big threat here now is, yeah, it's fine. Getting rid of one.
Throws a boulder right back to him. Peanut still looking for maybe an angle as Mom comes in, but Chovy's going to be protected by the shield. HLE lose their AD carry, but nothing more.
Hama protecting Doran there was crucial because that would have been Gen G turnover to Baron. May still look for it as the TP comes back in. Zeka needs to teleport back into this equation to make things more even for Hanwha.
The teleport seals the deal. Baron's the target. Gen G already got it down to about half. Doran here on the front line. Baron at 6k HP. HLE piling in. Lehens tries to get away. Doran still at about half HP now as Peanut has to fully escape. Arctic Assault backward.
Meeting still.
Still aggroed at 3,000.
It's like here, he doesn't have his ultimate. Really awkward. Because if he did, he could have done the resend like wait for an angle like he did on the one dragon I commented. But now he's like a standard ADC. So there's nothing like Twitch. There's no Twitch gameplay here. It's just standard ADC with 550 range. But still, he goes to this. Why though? I mean, if he's confident that his team is going to win, this is fine. Oh, that cleanse is troll, man. That cleanse is a greedy cleanse. But okay. That's a bad cleanse though. Just make that clear. That's a solo queue cleanse right there. That should not be done. That is so creepy. That's a hungry placement.
To flash away, and you can see it burning down there, so close to execute range. Baron trying to finish him off too, and then Chovy still full HP on the Ahri. He moves up, and he actually puts so much pressure on the rest of the DPS of Hanwha that Canyon.
Has PEYZ actually uses flash this entire game?
On the Baron smite, he secures it, and then Chovy goes in with the rest of his charges.
I have no idea. I've not seen him flash.
Really clutch on the Baron fight, even with all the extra.
Yeah, this cleanse is true. Even if Sejuani lives there, it's better than like it's you don't gain. You already gained Baron. It's like using your cleanse that kills Sejuani, going to reset, and she's gonna be back alive again. So that cleanse does nothing.
The flash from Canyon was so sick as well.
It just kills Sejuani, and that's it. It's like if you don't have that cleanse, like having cleanse for Dragon, much more important. Having cleanse for like a siege, much more important.
Please tell me I'm seeing this correctly. We did come out on top. But yes, Gen G outplaying in the moment, and now a Baron up.
Mortal Reminder on this patch here, very good too. I don't see a point in going that one. Even though they don't have that much healing here. So you could make an argument that like PEYZ could go for that one instead. I think both are fine, and I'm not going to make it too much of a comment here. I think in this case scenario here, you could even make an argument that the other one is better. Because Twitch is a burst rate champion anyway, you know, looking to like sustain fight anyone. So like that healing reduction sometimes doesn't even do anything. It's more prevalent like noticeable against champions like Sona or like Soraka, I mean, but Sona even as well. But yeah, I think you would maybe they would be very close at least, but still, both of them are fine, especially on this patch. No problem with that item. It is necessary to get it though, so I don't really care as long as I see an LT like Last Whisper.
To land those smite secures, they can put themselves in these spots where they're unafraid of HLE's challenge. Even though they've got this level 16 Smolder, even though he's got 325 stacks, PEYZ's Twitch 6, 1, and 5. Highest kill participation of anyone on the team. Yes, it's only by 1, but it's still first place. He's doing great.
And that's the thing, we focused a lot on like Canyon and Chovy in that fight, but it was PEYZ who assassinated Viper, who got him caught out with Canyon to start off that play. That set
it's really good in team fight scenarios like this here and worlds and stuff where it's like really coordinated play to just take out champion though. Like especially in ADC or even like Smolder, he could take out, like if they're caught by themselves, like he can easily kill them. And I think that's very valuable in these kind of settings. In solo queue it might not be so important, but I think you can capitalize a lot more on this in these kind of settings.
Jump out, make a clutch pick. He's one of us.
I will say though, if PEYZ watched this and he actually like coordinated these things, his champion would unironically have a lot more impact, because these things that he did has made like a lot of changes here. So like if he uses cleanse or like lulz, like it shows that he maybe doesn't understand like the importance of these things. Because it's more like a Twitch related thing, but even like generally ADC, that's how to say. No ulti here, okay, that's good. Yeah, no complaint. But I feel like he's also like too like defaulted into just throwing his W. Like it almost feels like you're watching a script. Like PEYZ is like open, okay, W auto tag. W auto tag. Like I would like to see some more flexibility in his playstyle there, like some understanding of like importance of certain things.
This goes over to Gen G now, and I feel like Hanwha's chances have nearly completely disappeared.
Yeah, you're talking about nails in the coffin. They've got the nail gun out, and they're just spamming nail after nail after nail. Yep, that's gonna be
new Twitch coming in soon.
Alright, Mortal Reminder complete.
Another one bites the dust, and another objective here. So, who will next? Who will be the next one picked? It looks right now like Doran's gonna be the next one picked.
Am I allowed to bet? Is it too late?
I think the betting window. No, the betting window is closed on this one. That is it for Doran. 50 seconds on the respawn clock. PEYZ just creeping through the mid lane here, invisible.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. I like this.
Makes it so easy to farm up the wave as well. PEYZ now with the complete.
I like these fishing windows. It's one thing, if I make a guide, it's one thing I will mention, the fishing. It is a very important thing. So like he obviously has played Twitch, but like it's still very like basic.
On HLE, they're pushing that top lane with Chovy right now. They still don't have a whole lot of
But he has like, he shows like clear understanding of the things he wants to do. Just some things are like poorly executed. Like of course his positioning and like CS and like I don't know, general like ADC mechanics are like obviously on like a god level and I cannot compare. But still, let's see. PEYZ says it's stealth, yeah. This is beautiful. This is the thing I live for. He gets a perfect angle here almost. But again, look. He's melee range right now, right? His ulti basically goes here. Like at this point. There's no point going this close. Of course, maybe if you want to like ult here, you'll get the max range. So maybe we'll see that. Maybe I spoke too soon. he's wasting. Look, auto there, auto there, auto there, auto there. Yeah, flashes out. So yeah, Paul, let me talk you through how this should go. I'll talk you through what should happen right in this sequence here. PEYZ stealth. Alright, he waits, that's fair enough. I would assume him being like a world tier player, he would know what summoners or like what spells Sidrani has used. If she doesn't have your knock, you can just open right now. If not, maybe you would have to wait slightly longer because you want to see like the key component spells being used. But anyways, actually before this stream, we have to go back. Okay, right here, if he wants to open, Afchoke just ran out, he should stop right now. Stop right here. This is as far as he should go. He should not go further out. This is perfect for Twitch, because right now on this point here, he has no flank points over than the ones behind there. All the enemies are straight in front of him, something he would want. So if the enemies are to come for him, they are forced to like come into this cone towards him. So like leaving this area, like going past this line here right now on Twitch is completely troll. It's like he should stay here. Because all enemies that wants to attack him, they are going to be in his ult, right? So like at this point here, he just ulties if he wants, or he can wait alternatively a little bit longer. But again, he should not go past his thresh point right now. This is the line he should go. But then he goes past it, right? This should not happen. This is illegal, right? This should not happen. Then he W's again. Or normal attacks, then he ults, right? Still maybe fine, but dying here should not happen. There's no way anyone on Twitch should die here by now. There's no point. Your ult is like already like here at this point here. Like you can still be standing here and hit them. But you are way too far out. You're here. This is like the line where you should be, and you are this much more out. You should be here by now. Your character should be here. You're here. Right? Or he doesn't die, but he still has a splash. Like, it's fine, but like, he just walks a little bit too far up. And that's because he ults too late. He goes for the auto W and then ults. And it's like something you don't really pay attention to. You have to do this mistake many, many times. And get killed many, many times because of it. And then you will start to like do this. Like, PEYZ is not getting punished for this enough when he plays Twitch in the solo queue, I would assume. Which is why he doesn't do this. I'm not sure if I said he would die here, but like again, he overextended. Like he went past where he needed to go.
We said PEYZ on the Twitch. He came into the game with 100% win rate on it. He's gonna leave the game with 100% win rate on it. Gen is gonna show HLE.
But yeah, still very solid ADC. It clearly shows that he's played some Twitch. He knows the flanks and angles. He knows a little bit about fishing. He knows the importance of W, but he doesn't like quite understand like the importance of all of the spells and like how they can be used like optimally, such as the W like sometimes being more important to being used in between enemies as opposed to like on top of enemies. And that is something I personally like often work with as well. It is very tempting to just throw the W on the enemy, but if you know the enemy is going to come towards you, it's much better to put it in between. But yeah, still a really good game though. And well played. There's some things I really liked here, but there are some things I wasn't a very big fan of. But anyways, that's it. Hope you guys continue to have a good nice show like that. And I hope you enjoy this. Take care. Peace.